Let me tell you a little bit about our educational sponsor, Ironbridge Software. Ironbridge Software was founded in 1989 by Michael Dickinson. Michael's unparalleled expertise and passion for technology led him to create the first ever analytical solution for the consumer packaged goods industry. Ironbridge Software has been leading the field ever since. Back in 1989, Michael's vision was to blend database expertise, analytical expertise, and software capabilities to produce a complete service for the CPG industry. At Ironbridge, we are passionate about solving our clients' problems, one insight at a time. To learn more, go to ibsw.com. As I mentioned, our next presentation of the day is by Michael Dickinson, founder of Ironbridge Software. The topic is the old and new e-commerce, a deep dive into e-commerce analytics. Michael assembled a team that has more than 50 years experience, and Ironbridge Software has been leading the field ever since. As I mentioned, back in 1989, Michael's vision was to blend database expertise, analytics, and software capabilities to produce a complete service for the CPG industry. It's now my privilege to turn the screen over to Michael. Michael, go ahead, take it away. And let me just unmute you. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Good. Share my PowerPoint presentation.
I can see it.
Well, thank you, Ryan, and hello from me. Hope everybody is safe and well. As Ryan said, this is a deep dive into e-commerce analytics. And as we all know, e-commerce is more important than it's ever been. And what we mean by a deep dive is going down deeply into every item that we see on a website and looking for the details about those items and then turning those into analytics. So what is this all about? In one word, insights. And I will explain and talk about three particular insights. These are things that we have been working with different companies. They've challenged us in some of these cases to come up with an insight and an answer to questions that they have. So first one, are your brands getting share of page one? This Elias was just talking about this, in fact, and Adam as well. So obviously we know this is very critical. Are you priced competitively? Are there new trends? And we'll talk later about how we can pick up when new items or new segments of categories are trending. The way we do this in the deep dive is by using attributes. And attributes are, as we say, are very important. We have an artificial intelligence algorithm that will take what we find about every item on a website. And by using the description, the image, we drill down into the descriptions and the details of any item that we see. This is kind of what we mean by the deep dive. So for a food item, for example, we will pick up nutrition facts or drug facts. While we're doing that, we'll also pick up the UPC code, the manufacturer SKU, the retailer number. In the case of Amazon, of course, that's the ASIN. And then we figure out a lot of attributes based on what we pick up from those details. Things like brand name, style, segment, form. By using these attributes, we can match up our customers' items and brands with the competition, website by website and across websites. That is key to what we do, and it's really key to what is the deep dive, as we say. So let's talk about our first one, share of page one. This is something we've been challenged to do by the Bayer Pharmaceutical team. This is their Walmart team in particular down in Bentonville. They wanted us to optimize search terms. This is a little different from the standard SEO. They wanted us to pick a bunch of different search terms and see how well they did on page one. So we picked up, in fact, we did 14 search terms altogether in their category. This is pain relief, cold and flu medicines, and so on. This is only Walmart.com. That's all they're interested in. In fact, they're only interested in page one. So what was the attribute we're using here? And it's really the first one, just the brand. And that's usually the first one we start with. What is the metric? The metric is share of page one, which is a very simple calculation. It's the number of items for that brand on page one of the website divided by total items on the page. And I can tell you Walmart.com has 40 items on any page. So you'll see the share of the items is from a basis of the 40. So what we did was to run, in fact, a total of 14 different search terms, looking for what their page rank was. And we put up these charts of the results. Now, I know that with Zoom, these things are difficult to read, so I'm not going to dwell in detail on these things, but the search terms we were using here on the bottom of each chart were things like cold medicine, cough and cold, cold and flu medicine, fever reducer, that sort of thing. And if you can read across the charts, we're picking up different items, different brands as we're going along. And the share is anywhere from 2.5% up to 20-30%. 2.5% means we've got just one item on page one. And some products had much better presence than others. If you look at the bottom there, fever reducer, Bayer products are Advil and Aleve. They are doing very well. Equate is the Walmart house brand, so they're obviously well promoted on their website. I want to show you in particular these next few slides. I'm sorry, jumping a little ahead here. Here we've got headache relief, headache medicine. You see those two on the top right, top left. Headache relief on the top right is a little interesting here. We picked up Bengay, Gas X, brands we were not expecting to pick up. And what happened here, we think, Walmart had a glitch in their search algorithm, and they were picking up the word relief and ache as much as headache, which is why they picked up Bengay. We checked back the next day. This was a one-time daily snapshot. We checked back the next day and they fixed it, and Bengay did not show up under headache relief. But here's a couple that I really wanted to show you. The top two charts on the top here, the left and the right. Pain medicine and pain meds. On pain medicine on the left, you see Tylenol there has got a 30% share. That means they've got 12 items on page one. And this was just base Tylenol. Children's Tylenol was separate. They had a 10% share. Whereas other products like Aleve, Advil, Motrin, they were much lower in share. The reason for this is because Tylenol has got a lot of items, a lot of different segments for their items. They've got arthritis brand, they've got time release, they've got 8-hour release, they've got capsules, they've got gel caps. So they have a lot more products to offer, different individual items. Whereas the other companies, Advil and Aleve, they may have 2 or 3 different things, got different sizes sometimes on page one, tablets and gel caps, that sort of thing. So just the number of items you can put on the page does become important. On the top right, we did pain meds. Now, it would seem to me that if I'm a shopper, I'm going to type in as my search term pain meds, not spell out the word medicine. But it picked up quite a different set of brands. Most of them were the same ones, but we picked up some more. In fact, Tylenol didn't even appear. So this was interesting, something we're going to be looking at in terms of how to optimize these search terms. On the bottom, you see pain relief, pain reliever. We're beyond now simple headaches, because now we are picking up Bengay and so on, and Midol, that kind of thing, Voltaren for arthritis products. So these are some of the charts we've had. We've got a couple more coming up. The Bayer folks challenged us to determine if there was a time of day difference between their presence on page one. And as you can see, yes, there is. The light green bar there is at 3 p.m., middle one 5 p.m., and then 9 a.m. And we see the most presence for certain items in the afternoon. Children's Tylenol, for example, basic NSAIDs, Advil is more presence during the afternoons. This was a one-time snapshot, though. So what we're doing next for these folks is we're going to run this and average it out over a week and see if this is still true. I suspect it's not, but we'll see. It'll be interesting to find out. There, of course, we're interested to find out what time of day will be best for doing their own promotions. So we hope they're going to take some action on that one. So let's move on to another category and another one of our insights. And this is looking at price competitiveness. This is something we're doing for one of the soap powder manufacturers. I shouldn't say soap powders anymore, detergent manufacturers. We're looking across laundry detergent, which is our search term. We have just one search term now. Looking at Amazon, Target, and Walmart. Those happen to be the three sites that they were most interested in. We do support a bunch of different websites, by the way. I'll talk about some of those in more detail. The calculation we're doing is laundry loads per item. That is the attribute that we've picked up. We scan that out of the data that we pick up is the loads per package. The attribute that we're using is brand by presence. And what we mean by that is we don't have sales when we scan a website. We can't get that. You can get it yourself, of course, from Retail Link or from Amazon Analytics. But so by presence, we mean simple total number of items. And this is across the entire website, not just page one, because that would get in the way of the share calculation. We scan any number of pages deep that we need to capture all the items. When we're looking for these trends, as I'll talk about in a minute, it's important to go and capture every single one that's out there. Walmart.com, for example, we're doing a scan on beef jerky, beef snacks. Walmart has got 16 pages of them. They've got 900 items, different items in there. So we don't necessarily stop at page 1, 2, or 3. Sometimes we want to go down quite deep in how many pages we track. So laundry loads per item. We are calculating the price per load by the selling price on the website divided by the loads per item. That is per package. And it's obviously a fairly simple calculation. Then we roll that up to brand level. So now we've got a chart of what that output looks like. So these are the primary brands, and on the bottom there you see the three websites that we've been scanning. The highest priced item is Dreft, which is something of a specialty item. It's meant for children's clothing. It's a gentle product. The major brands that you're familiar with, Tide and Gain, they turn out to be some of the high price leaders. Kind of interesting. This is a scan across all of their items, though, going down many pages. So it includes a lot of smaller items and a lot of specialty items. So this is a very high level snapshot here. What was interesting to us, though, is that Arm & Hammer, which happens to be the people we are working with on this, they're a low price leader, clearly, which I think is going to be very interesting for them. We haven't presented this back to them yet. Persil is a new product coming from Unilever. It's been very big in Europe for decades. Again, it's trying to get market traction. Purex, as you see, doesn't even sell at Target. So, and then all by the way is a brand name. It's not all products. It's another price leader. You see across here, Walmart consistently is the lowest price. Amazon, surprisingly, is not always. Target generally a little higher than Walmart. But you think you'd expect Amazon to be closer to top 2 or Walmart, and turns out it's not. Seventh Generation is an interesting brand there. We'll show you some, when we look for trends, we'll show you some of the trends we have picked up. We're going to do another study coming up next for how natural and organic, eco-friendly detergents are growing in share. We're pretty confident they are in the data we look at. We're going to do a more formal analysis of that. So this was a scan of laundry detergents and pricing. Now let's look at trends. What we mean by this is we're looking for new items, new styles, new forms, new packaging. In the case of laundry detergents, new scents. Scent is a more important attribute than I thought when we talk about laundry detergents. The attribute we're using is scent. That's the scan we're going to use. When it comes to laundry detergent, we're picking up things like scent, packaging, size. Our algorithm has gotten very good at picking up things like packaging and size. We pick them up very quickly, converting ounces to pounds and pounds to ounces and grams and liters and fluid ounces, those sorts of things. The metric we're going to use is rank index. There's two of them, rank index and the change in rank index by month. What we mean by rank index is we've inverted the page rank. We normally think of things being good when they're growing percent-wise, month by month. But if you're going from rank 2 to rank 1, you just lost 50% of your rank. So we invert rank index, and we use a number. If you're top of page 1, number 1 on Amazon or whatever website it is, we're going to give you a rank index of 1,000. And then we go from there down, simply calculating numbers down. The reason we chose 1,000 is because, as I said, Walmart, in the case of the beef snacks, has 900 items. So we're going to go with 1,000. If we're only looking down 3 pages, we're only going to pick up rank index, maybe 1 through 100. So then we calculate the change in rank index by month. We've been scanning this data now for laundry detergent for quite a few months, so we can get a good feel for what's changing month by month. So now we're looking for the rank index as it's trending up. So here's the next page. And I apologize for this. I know with Zoom, these numbers are very difficult to read. But across the top, we've got February, March, April, May, and June of this year, and we're tracking the rank index percent change per month. There's not a lot of growth in some of these rank indexes. You see some cents, I should point out, cent is down the left-hand side there. And this is all at Amazon. The reason we do this at Amazon is because that's where we're going to pick up the trends, because they're worldwide. The cost of entry to Amazon is lower than any other website. So you can get a new product, a new segment, a new size, a new attribute of a product onto Amazon much more quickly than you can onto, say, Walmart or Target.com, because the buying streams for Walmart and Target, the people, the websites that are fulfilling from their own distribution centers, they tend to work along the same lines as the bricks and mortar, the legacy buyers. So you have a buying process to go through that it takes more time and is more costly than getting a product up on Amazon. So when we're looking for new trends, we do concentrate on Amazon. And I got a couple here that we did find, and I've emphasized, increase the font here, so I hope you can read them. Rosemary scent has got some positive numbers there. They're clearly growing over time, so that's interesting. The one at the bottom, vetiver, is very clearly growing, 14%, 37% most recently. So I didn't know what vetiver was. It's a type of grass. So that's, I mean, leaf grass. So that's clearly a growing trend. And we're going to be talking with our folks there about whether that's important to them or not. So this is what we mean by trend analysis. As I said, the next one we're going to look at is natural and organic, eco-friendly products, because we're pretty sure they're growing. But let's get some numbers behind what we're doing there. So this is what we mean by trend analysis. Got a few more things to talk about here. On the bottom left there, you see we can verify pricing against MAP, manufacturer assured pricing. If you have an assured pricing deal with Amazon, they do have a team that tracks this and makes sure that they conform. Not always, they don't catch everything, so it's usually up to the manufacturer to be sure that they are conforming to your agreement. We can track that. We can send out alerts if the price on Amazon ever gets lower than what it's supposed to be. At the same time, we're tracking robotic pricing. We were challenged by some folks at Blue Diamond Almond. We worked with them last year. Amazon suddenly did drop the price below the MAP, and they wanted to know why. We found out that it was because Sam's Club had dropped the price on the exact same item significantly by $2 a pack, from $13.98 to $11.98. It took about 24 hours, but Amazon dropped their price to conform with that. This is one of the things that's key to what we do with attributes. We can find the identical items that match your items with your competitive items at different websites. That's where the attributes really come into use. A couple more quick things I want to talk to real quickly. We're getting out of time. We did a scan in the bread category, search term of bread, at Amazon Fresh and Walmart Grocery. On Amazon Fresh, they have 24 items on page 1 of the bread category. When you drill down into each item, we found out at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, this was in the East Coast in New Jersey, out of a distribution center, The current 20 of those 24 items were currently unavailable, which we were out of stock. So they were essentially out of business for a while. We come back 2 hours later and find that the problem has been solved. So we don't think this is a question of trucks stopping up the loading dock. This is a question of the database being updated. So that's something to be very aware of. A couple more things. We track bad reviews, which can be very important to track that. And there's a third-party activity going on. So I've overrun time. Sorry, Ryan. If there's any questions, I think we've got a couple of minutes maybe to answer them, but I'll stop sharing here and let Ryan come back.
Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. What we'll do is have you come back directly after this panel. This panel should end somewhere around 2:20 to, or sorry, 3:20 to 3:30 Eastern time, and we'll open it up for interactive questions at that point for you, Michael, and let the attendees turn on their cameras and microphones and ask you questions. So everyone, please remember to jot down your questions or submit them in the Q&A box, and we will definitely ask Michael. Again, thank you so much for sharing that.